everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. Hope you are having a great day. Happy Friday. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me because my sound is sounding a little bit weird on my side. So if you could give me a thumbs up and let me know if you're hearing me, hopefully you are. And if you're not, well, I guess you can't give me a thumbs up because you don't know what I'm saying. So just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. That would be really great. But welcome, welcome, welcome. What is going on in the world? Well, our fifth Prince Harry is booked. He's busy. He's doing stuff. He's out in the world. My goodness. It is. Oh, Karen M just gave me a thumbs up. So yes, Karen M is hearing me. So wonderful. Thank you, God. Thank you, Karen. Um, but yes, I don't know if you guys saw this yesterday, and I just realized I forgot to put it in our community page. But before we get to Prince Harry, yes, I know Prince Harry is in the motherland. Uh, you know, going home really in the motherland because he just fits right into the motherland. Thank you, Sarah and Dee. I appreciate it. Thank you for the thumbs up. So great. My sound is working, even though it sounds a little wonky on this end. But anyways, so yes, Harry is over there in Southern Africa right now. So we'll get to that in a second. But yesterday, Better Up and also Sports Illustrated dropped this yesterday. We didn't, obviously, Harry is just, he does everything in stealth, so we didn't know it was happening. So he did an interview with Pau Gasol, who is a former NBA player. He's retired now. He played with the Lakers. I didn't know about him before. I saw him, I think it's the last time I checked in with Better Up when they were doing these seminar things. I think he was one of the speakers there. But he played with Kobe Bryant. He won 2 NBA championships with Kobe Bryant. And so he is now in business and also has partnered up with Better Up. And so to do mental health stuff, especially with kids, and also, I guess, some kind of thing. But his focus is on child development, making sure the kids are okay. And so that's kind of his thing. And so totally what Harry is into. Obviously, we've seen him with Archewell, and of course, we've seen him in Southern Africa with Sentibali, really advocating for kids, especially their mental health and so on and so forth. So Prince Harry, as we've seen him done before and Better Up, with Better Up, is that he becomes the interviewer. And so he interviewed Paul about finding flow and how it, or at least how I understand flow, is to be this sort of this space you are mentally and either individually or as a team where you are in the zone, where things are clicking, where it's not something that just happens automatically. Obviously, it's something that you work on years to get yourself into a place where even if you're tired, even if you're on your last fingertips, you can still push and achieve whatever it is you're looking to achieve, and it's going beyond what your physical body can tell you, and really tapping into your mental space and your mental energy and be able to achieve what you want to achieve. And so a lot of the things that he believes and the things that he goes by are lessons that he learned from playing, obviously, with the Lakers, and especially playing with Kobe Bryant, because we know Kobe Bryant was amazing. His discipline, his focus, his work ethic is legendary. And so Pau, I always want to call him Paul, but it's Pau, P-A-U, Gasol, his whole life now and what he's doing and with his business and just for himself development wise is going back and tapping into the flow, is finding that flow, whether it's again in personally or working as with his team, from his business and all of that stuff, is tapping into that. So that's what he and Harry were talking about yesterday. And also he also did an interview with Sports Illustrated, and of course if you do an interview with Prince Harry and then you do another one with another person, they're going to ask you what it was like being interviewed by Prince Harry, and of course they did. So yeah, but these are a couple of pictures of the interview. It's a video interview, so actually if you have not seen it And again, I forgot, I realized I did not post it. So I will put it in our community page, the link there. What you have to do is you'll have to put in your, and it links back to Better Up, and you're going to have to put in your email address and all of that stuff to be able to see the video. But it's a really cool video, of Harry interviewing him. And so Sports Illustrated, again, they interviewed him after and then asked them what it was like being interviewed by Prince Harry. So I'm going to move my little banner here so that I can read it. So before I move it, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe, click the notification bell so that you know when we drop a video. Please like and share the video and join the channel if you're able. That would be amazing. So yes, so I'm just gonna move my banner so I can read the whole thing. And so yeah, so Sports Illustrated, a Sports Illustrated exclusive. I spoke, and this is Liam McKeown. It says, I spoke with Pau Gasol about his work with Better Up and an interview with Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex. That launches today. And obviously the interview dropped yesterday. And I'm telling you, can I just say, Prince Harry, and I've said this before, Prince Harry needs to have a talk show. He is a really good interviewer. And I'm like, dude, you need to have your own talk show. Anyway, I digress. So this is the question Sports Illustrated asked him. It says, you sat through many interviews over the course of your career. What was it like to be interviewed by Prince Harry? And this is what he said. He said, I had a wonderful time chatting with Prince Harry. He's an extremely accomplished individual and has done a lot for the world of sports through his work with the Invictus Game Foundation. He is someone who, like me, is dedicated to service and understands the role of mental fitness in overall performance. During my interview with him, I talked about how I sustained flow and peak performance during the game. Everything I talked about can be applied in the workplace when someone is facing a loss of flow or motivation. It was a great conversation that really resonated with me. So yes, and it was. And you know, if you haven't seen it again, I will put the link there so you can go watch it. And it really was a good conversation. And especially I loved Kobe Bryant. I will forever mourn his death. But the lessons that you learn just about his ethics and his work ethics is amazing. This man is he was so dedicated. And so one can only, you can understand why Paul would not let go of the things he learned while working with Kobe. And so he has that Mamba mentalities, which is great. So so really cool. And again, Prince Harry needs to have a show. I'm telling you, he needs to have his own show. So anyways, so that was a wonderful thing, a little bit of a surprise. And again, Prince Harry is so booked and busy. Here he is in the motherland, and Better Up and Sports Illustrated is dropping this interview. And you're like, what else has he done? Apart from all the things he's done in the last few weeks, especially. So anyways, but before I go on, hello to all of my friends in the chat. I didn't even say hello to you. Sorry about my bad manners, but hello. Connie Barber is here. Hi, Connie. Hanging out with us from Switzerland. Hi. Gwen is here. And Sarah's here. Hello, guys. Karen M, of course, our awesome moderator. Lottie. Karen Warner. Hi, Karen Warner. How are you? Dee Dee is here. Joan is here. Claudia is here. Who else is hanging out with us? Susanna Maria Onoya. Did I say that right, Susanna Maria? Welcome. And I haven't seen you here before. Or maybe I just, maybe you were here before and I just didn't notice. Sorry, but welcome. Black Queen is here. Hi, Black Queen, our awesome moderator. Did I say Claudia already? Claudia Sims is here. Carlene is here. Vanzola is here. Dee Dee. Annie is here. Matarazzi Sound is here. Who else is here? Gwen, Perlina. I may have said that before, but anyways, and all of our friends who are watching who are not exactly in the chat, welcome, 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 everyone. So I am so happy that you guys are all here. So, what else is happening with our faves who are minding their own business? And I haven't seen Church Nelly here, but Church Nelly, if you don't come, you'll miss the surprise. This was for Church Nelly. But I don't see her here, so we'll enjoy Nacho on her behalf. How about that? So Nacho was actually on Access Hollywood yesterday. Nacho is in LA for one of those Click Polo charity. I think it's a charity. I don't remember if it's charity or not. But Click Polo events. Sometimes they have it in New York, sometimes in California, I guess, or maybe they do both. I don't know. I don't really follow polo, other than if Nacho and Harry are doing. I'm very, very shallow when it comes to polo. So, but he is in LA promoting that and also promoting Polo, which is a docu-series that he's doing with Prince Harry. And so he was on Access Hollywood, and one of the things he talked about is the fact that, especially the British press, really all the British press, have been putting out this really lying narrative about Polo, and also very racist, basically saying that Netflix is really angry because Harry is not in it and they expected him to be in, but the only one that's in it was the little known Argentinian. And I was like, seriously? Little known Argentinian Nacho? Nacho is the most famous polo player in the world. The man is world famous and he's been that way for years. But to the British press, he's that little known Argentinian. It's like, could you people be more racist? It's just like, sheesh. So anyways, it just is really like, So he was like, you know what? His attitude is like, there is nothing called bad press. Even with that nonsense narrative, there's no bad press. It's just press. Every press is good. So that's his approach to this whole thing. He's like, hey, at least you're talking about us, so that's great. I don't care if it's negative or not. You're talking about my docu-series, so yeah, it'll bring people's attention to it. So he definitely has that attitude about it. So I'm like, you go, Nacho. Because it's so ridiculous. So he was on the show talking about that, and actually I could put a link to that as well, just in case you haven't seen it. And so a lot of people have an issue with Access Hollywood because the last time we were even paid attention to Access Hollywood, which is so funny because I don't watch TV, I did not even realize they were there. They were still there until I saw a clip of the interview they did with the editor from the Hollywood Reporter, claiming that he spoke to 12 people about Meghan, and Meghan is a bad and she's treating her staff badly and all of this nonsense. So that was the last time I paid attention to Access Hollywood. And then I was like, well, okay, Nacho is on there, so whatever, but it actually was a cool interview with Nacho. And then he was also advertising his champagne. That's him on the left pouring his champagne. So Nacho, and that's the thing with the nonsense narrative about Nacho being this little known person. Nacho has written books. Nacho has fragrance. He what do you call colognes? Nacho has champagne. The man has been he's been creating all of this stuff for years. And so I'm like, what are you talking about? Little known. This man is the most famous polo player in the world. And so it's just so ridiculous. So Tazia has some choice words for Hollywood Reporter. I'm sorry, the Access Hollywood. It says Access Hollywood has been hating Meghan since day one. Okay. Again, I don't watch TV, so I didn't even realize it was still there. I thought it was, I actually hadn't even thought of it for such a long time. As with many things, I just assume they're not there anymore. And well, Van Zola has even more choice words. Access Hollywood suck. So there you go. Joan also says Access Hollywood is a minor player anyway. So there you go. So whatever, Access Hollywood. But Nacho was on it. And so I don't know who it is that posted the clip. May have been Josephine or somebody on X that posted the clip of it. So, but I enjoyed nachos. So there you go. and he obviously advertising his wine and polo series. So I hope that Harry and Nacho are going to be making the rounds and promoting it, because I know Heart of Invictus, because partly because of the strike that was going on at the time when that came out last year, there wasn't much publicity, and there wasn't any really publicity, other than I think couple of the athletes did an interview. I think one of them did it on uh I think it was NBC or something like that. So yeah, I just yeah, other than that, I don't think that I saw any other advertising for Heart of Invictus. So I hope that they're gonna do a whole lot of advertising. I hope Netflix, give them a budget so that they can make the rounds and advertise it so people know. Again, if you're anything like me, you don't even know anything about polo and you just don't follow polo at all. So they'll get new fans. Oh, so there you go. But anyways, if you see if you see Church Nelly, tell her she missed it. So there you go. So that was Nacho on Access Hollywood yesterday. So I think other people are. Oh, Tazia says that they used to talk they used to talk about the Royals. Dan the Clown Wooten was their spokesperson. Oh, really? Oh, well, there you go. I see. I see. Okay. I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't really pay attention to them, so I really don't know. So, but anyways, that was Nacho yesterday. What else is happening? Well, our phase, over to our phase, which is why we're here. He is in the motherland. Well, at least we know as of yesterday he was in the motherland. Don't know if he's still there, because nobody knows his schedule. It's so funny. There was a clip from a African, I think it was a South African journalist, doing a report for one of the other South African news outlets, and they were asking if they know when Harry is going to be in South Africa, what his schedule, and they're like, we have no idea. We don't know. And they're keeping a tight rein on a schedule, and they're very tight-lipped about it, so they're not telling anyone. So no one knows when he is anywhere until after the fact. So we don't know. No one knows if Harry is still in South Africa, if he's left, but we know that, he, at least with Archewell, they put out stuff, or even with photos and stuff, it comes out after they seem to have left wherever it is they were. But I'm just so enjoying. I mean, hope you guys have been enjoying the photos, and there have been so many photos of him in Lesotho, who, by the way, I think isn't today their Independence Day? I think today's Lesotho's Independence Day, if I'm not mistaken. Any squaddies from Africa, the continent of Africa, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's today, because I know they were having like celebrations leading up to it, but I think today is their Independence Day. And I just thought of it. I should have looked it up. I should have thought of it before, and I hadn't. So happy Independence, Lesotho, and hope you had a great time with Prince Harry. But I think my favorite photo of all the photos is the top on the left with Harry with all the aunties, man. I just love that photo. And you could just see the love. How could you not love being around the aunties? I'd have a huge smile on my face too if I'm around the aunties, because they just love. The aunties just love. And my second favorite thing in the whole trip is Prince Cecil's hat. I'm like, Prince Cecil, I know where you got that hat, but this is the best thing in the world. I love that hat. So, but this is from Archewell, just in case you haven't seen it again, as with Colombia and Nigeria trip. And all the information you want to know about the trip is on Archewell. They have tons of photos. This is just a clip from what they posted about Lesotho. It says, today Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, attended a series of impactful events in the Laribe region of Lesotho, focusing on Sentebale's vital work in supporting children and young adults. Accompanied by Prince Cecil of Lesotho and Dr. Sophie Chanduka, MBE, board chair of Santebale, the Duke engaged with local communities, health professionals, and innovative international funders to witness firsthand excuse me, just dropped something. To witness firsthand the transformative programs making a difference in the region. The day began with a visit to Point Main Health Facilities, where the Duke met with dedicated doctors and clinicians involved in Santebale. This initiative plays a crucial role in providing healthcare and support to children and young adults in Leribe, underscoring the importance of accessible medical services in fostering healthy futures. And again, they're doing a really great work, especially with the young people out there in not only in Lesotho, but again, it's also in Botswana. But of course, we don't have any indication that Harry went to or is going to be in Botswana. But again, don't be surprised, because he just does things and we know about it later. So be on the lookout, or maybe he's back home by now. Who knows? So, and again, Harry is not there by himself. For all of those crazy people are like, where's Meghan? Well, Harry's on a work trip, and he's not just traveling to Lesotho and also South Africa on his own, reconnecting. He is there with a group of people, just the same way he took a group of people a year, but what was it, like a year and a half ago, to go tour the African parks into different countries like Rwanda, etc., to see the parks and to see the work that's being done there, and to get in touch with the people in the community around the parks. That's what this trip is about. It's not a vacation. It is a work trip with a group of people that he's looking to have them invest in a Santebale. Give me 1 second. I just want to plug in my computer before I lose it. Give me 1 second. Okay, my computer just almost died on me there. It's like, oh no, that would not have been good. So, anyways, so I'm just so excited, and he had a great time. Everyone looked like were having a fantastic time. Of course, there are a few photos of the team members who are there. Again, I think there were people there from Google, also from Jose Andreas's company, and other people who are potential investors in the youth there, potential investors in the work that Santebale is doing there. And so that's what the trip is about. So again, this whole thing is like, stop with the nonsense. They just want Meghan there so they can be gossiping about stuff. This is, of course, to say work trip. Obviously, Nigeria was a work trip. Also, Colombia was a work trip. But that was just Harry and Meghan doing their work. This is bringing investors with them, and just from, meeting to meeting to meeting with government officials. They just keep going there, and specifically focus on Harry's charities and getting people to invest in it. So that's kind of what this was about. So for those people like, where's Meghan? Meghan has her own business to do. She's doing her business in California. She has Arrow to work on. She has a podcast to work on. They also have 2 kids. They have, they've already gone to 2 different places for the year. They also have 2 kids. At least one of them just went back to school. So yeah, they're doing what every other couple does when they have different interests and things. So yeah. And I love these photos. Again, Prince Cecil's hat. I just think it's the best thing in the world. And so you see all these photos with Prince Harry with all of the kids in the community, and with the aunties, and then Prince Cecil and his hat. I love them. I long for the day that, again, I don't know if Harry has taken the family to Botswana and Lesotho to meet them. We don't know, because again, they go to places that I'm sure we have no idea about, because they know how to travel and stuff. So Don't know if they've seen them before. Don't know, but I long for the day to see how Archie and Lilibet running around with these kids in in Lesotho, and I don't know. I could just see them fit right in with them, and it just oh that and they call it the kingdom, the mountain kingdom. It just is so gorgeous. It's absolutely gorgeous, that place. It's just wow. The mountains, all imagine just waking up to all these mountains all around you. It's just like whoa. Absolutely, absolutely gorgeous. So uh what else is going on? And then after that, obviously Harry moved on. It must have been so hard to leave his brother Prince Ciso, and obviously he had an incredible welcome there, meeting with not only the Sentibali, but he also met with the president and all of that stuff. So I mean, I'm telling you, our global statesman is a true global statesman. It's just I am always so amazed how he just fits right into I mean, look at all the different things that Harry has done in the last just 2 weeks alone, and all the different spaces he's been in. And he seamlessly fits into all of these spaces, including taking photos with like tons of these little babies on the mountains of Lesotho. I mean, it just, and then hanging out with the aunties, and it just, he just fits every single place. He fits every single place. Church Nelly, where have you been? Where have you been? You missed Nacho. Where have you been? I'm so happy you're here, but you missed Nacho. But we enjoyed Nacho for you, just so you know. But welcome, Church Nelly. So on the replay, you'll see Nacho. So there you go. I was thinking of you. So but yeah, back to Prince Harry. It's amazing how he is able to do that, and that's the thing, that there is no one in the royal family who's able to replicate this. This is Princess Diana reincarnated in Prince Harry. It just carried water. It's like, I want to visit. Yeah, go visit, mama. Go visit. But yeah, definitely, I'd love to visit there. Just the people look, I mean, they seem so wonderful and friendly, and it just, yeah. You've been what? What, you've been boating? What does that mean? Like literally you've been out on a boat? Oh my goodness, Church Nelly has been boating. But okay, you have to explain. But by the way, Church Nelly, thank you for 25 months of membership. I appreciate your support so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Joan, 22 months of support. Oh my goodness. It's like, hi, Petal, it's been a while. I'm right behind Church Nelly on your channel. Yes, you are. 22 months. Thank you so much for your support for 22 months. You guys are amazing. I appreciate it so much. So appreciate your support. But yes, I just I feel like I want to just go and stay in Lesotho. It's just the open. I could just looking at the photos, I feel like I could taste how it, just the clean air and how it feels, and just we, in New York, you can't say clean, it's just air. It's like, is that fresh air? No, just air. You're just grateful for air. Not fresh, just air. But anyway, he went off after Lesotho. We didn't know when he got there, but then he just got there, and Archewell put out this for his visit to South Africa. And of course, that's part of the group down there with him and Dr. Sophie, who traveled with him to potentially be investors in Sentibali and also in the youths of Southern Africa. So we'll come back to this in a second. There we go. It's just like, why are you going that one? Sorry, got there by accident. But anyways, so it says strengthening, and this again is from Archewell, just a clip from Archewell. There are much more information there and a lot more photos. So it says strengthening futures, a special evening with Sentebale in Johannesburg, South Africa. This evening, Prince Harry, the Duke of Sussex, attended a private panel discussion in and dinner in Johannesburg, hosted by Sentebale. The event brought together influential figures, including Dr. Sophie Shanduka, MBE, political advisors George Sibotsiwe, and key figures from leading corporate foundations. This gathering reinforced Sentebale's dedication to improving the lives of young people in Southern Africa. Building on the momentum of the Miami event earlier this year, when Sentebale collaborated with Lebec, a women-led innovative finance and philanthropy firm, the focus was on the importance of catalytic giving and strategic partnerships. Panelists including Hector Mujica from Google.org, Sam Stevens of the AMB InBev Foundation, and Stacey Boyd of Olivela, I'm assuming that's how they pronounce it, share valuable insight into how collaboration can amplify our impact on youth and increase opportunity for all. Their combined expertise emphasized the need to forge connections between corporate and nonprofit sectors to create sustainable change. So fingers crossed, all of those people that went along in the group, that their companies will invest in Sentebale and invest in the youth, and not just invest, and just throw money at, but work together, because they have so much that you can learn, and they can collaborate, and hey, great things can happen from that. So I look forward to it. And again, it's wonderful to see how Harry does this, because he kind of does the same thing with Better Up. Because one of the things that Alex, who is the CEO of Better Up, talked about is that when they were sort of expanding to Europe, that all of these connections they were able to make, a lot of it was through Prince Harry. And so he was able to give that, connect them with so many people. And also with Prince Harry, because of Prince Harry, they have connections with the military, where you will find Better Up in the Air Force. They also with Invictus. They also connected with the Queen's Commonwealth Trust. And so all of these companies that they're working, and some of them, they donate their services for free, because they have that 1% of their growth income they donate to charity. So through Prince Harry, he's able to connect them with these different organizations that they're able to help and give back to. So it's so amazing. I mean, the guy, I could only imagine Harry's Rolodex. I mean, back in the day we called it Rolodex, but you can only imagine the kind of connections that he has, that he can bring together to, invest in the future of these young people and give them opportunities that they wouldn't otherwise not be able to have, or at least would be very difficult to come by. So really very, very exciting what he's been able to do. And again, I don't know if he's still in South Africa. Nobody knows. So whether he is still there or whether he is left already for home, we will know at some point, I'm sure. So, but I mean, I'm so impressed. The man is doing amazing. He's booked. He's busy. He is being the global statesman royal that he is. And I am just blown away. So it is just really, it's very, very inspiring to see. And so great job, Sentebale. Look forward to seeing what else you guys have to offer. So yes. And away from our wonderful fave to this little nonsense I ran into. I accidentally just jumped on before time. But jumping over to the Shutter Island for a second, I ran into this stuff. People on X are dragging Prince William for this nonsense, because apparently William did this engagement, and he was speaking to people who, I guess, they were athletes who were in Paris for the Olympic Games, British athletes, obviously, for the Olympic Games. And one of the athletes asked him if he was able to go to the games in Paris. Again, England is right there, right? It's like I don't even how many hours is it from London or whatever to Paris? I don't know if it's probably an hour or two, something like that. I don't know. I never looked it up. So UK or French squaddies, let me know. It's like probably an hour or two to get there. So they asked him if he went. He said no. And the reason he gave was that because Kate was having chemo at the time, he didn't want to go and get COVID, and put himself at the risk of getting COVID because Kate was having chemo at the time. And, obviously wouldn't want to pass that on to her. Elaine said 1 hour. Thank you so much, Elaine, which is what I thought, somewhere around there. Yes, thank you. 1 hour from London to Paris. All he had to do. And so it's like, wait, so the games was last month. And that's what he said. He didn't go because he didn't want to contact COVID and pass it on to her because she was having chemo. Except all of the summer in July and August, as you can see from these photos, William was all over the place in massive crowds. There he is with George in the top left photo at one of the football games. He went to Germany. He was in Germany, I think, a couple of times for whatever the British team were in. I guess, I don't know if it was the European Cup or whatever cup they were in Germany. He was there, I think, a couple of times to see the game without a mask, with thousands of people in the stadium. He was there by himself. He was there at the bottom. This is him again at another football event, another football game again with thousands of people around him. The British press has been going crazy because he went to Taylor Swift's concert, again, with thousands of people in the UK. I don't know if it was at Wembley or wherever in the UK Taylor Swift had her concert, where he took his kids maskless. And then not only that, this is Kate Middleton in last month in Wimbledon. It was Wimbledon is what, June, July, whatever it was. There she is. She sat at Wimbledon with thousands of people in the stadium without a mask. And so people are like, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You actually traveled to Germany, mask, and be in a stadium. You went to other football games in the UK and overseas without mask. You even went to this pub. I remember this pub place he went without mask. Kate, who was supposedly doing chemo at the time, was at Wimbledon. Here's a picture of her inside meeting Carlos Alcaraz with her daughter, and I think her sister is part of that photo, but I think she got cut out. It with a room full of people on the inside without a mask when she's supposedly having chemo and supposedly concerned about COVID. So COVID is at the Olympic Games, but COVID is not at these stadiums. It's not at the concert, not at the football game, and it's certainly not at Wimbledon when Kate was there maskless. And I was like, so P, he is being dragged all over social media because it's such nonsense. It is such nonsense. And again, own goal. Because William did not have to say anything. He could have just said, no, I didn't get a chance to go. Whatever. But this whole thing with this cancer story that is not adding up. And more every time they open their mouth, people are like, wait a minute. There's a photo of her, Kate, hugging a cancer patient who I think has only a few months to live. And there's this girl with bald hair. She had chemo. She lost her hair. And Kate, who supposedly had chemo, with her full, luxuriously thick, long hair. And you're like, something ain't right with that photo. And it's a sad, tragic, because this poor child, I think she's a teenager. She's a photographer. But she's at the end of her life. And so nothing is adding up. Nothing is adding up. Again, I don't doubt that something happened to her at the beginning of the year. I don't doubt at all. but I don't believe the story they're telling. And more people are like, wait a minute, there's something very off with this the whole thing. So, anyways, so that's the whole nonsense. I was just like, oh, good grief. How are you going to say that when you've been all over the place without a mask? So the mask, COVID is only at the Olympics, but it's not at any other place where you've been with thousands of people. It is just so ridiculous. And again, this is what happened when you lie. You forget sometimes the lie you tell, and you contradict yourself. This is what happened. This is what happened. But anyways, moving on from William's nonsense. Big changes. Well, not I say big changes. Maybe that's not even correct. Changes. Actually, this is a great thing. This is a wonderful thing. Changes at Archewell that was reported yesterday. Variety people, all of that. Everyone, if you notice, except the Hollywood Reporter reported on this story. Either the Sussexes just blanked them and did not send a press release to them, or they decide to take a pass on the story. But their sister publication, Deadline, reported on it. But Prince Harry and Meghan chief spokesman Ashley Hansen launches a firm, Three Gate Strategies. And so Ashley, again, who was their communication person and communication PR person, global, their global outreach, she is the person. She has now decided to start her own company, Three Gate Strategies. And well, let's read it. Ashley Hansen, a media and communications veteran who has served for years as chief spokesperson for the Duke and Duchess of Sussex, has launched her own PR consultancy. Named Three Gate Strategies, Hansen will retain the former Meghan Markle and Prince Harry as clients in the new venture. The company name draws inspiration from noted poet Rumi, who wrote, "Before you speak, let your words pass through three gates. Is it true? Is it necessary? Is it kind?" So it's called Three Gates. And it's so funny how that is just like Meghan, right? And in another, I think it's in Vanity Fair where she said that actually she did brainstorm the name with Meghan. So they both came up with the name together. And so a little bit more about it. It says Archewell will be served in-house by Miranda Babbitt, Disha Tank, Kyle Bula, and Charlie Gibson, based in Los Angeles and London. So that's their whole PR team. I have spoken about their PR team before. Their their marketing, PR, press team. I'm just not, and a personal thing, I'm not happy with them, what they've done so far. So I am not a fan of Ashley's PR, and I'm just not a fan of how they've done things. That said, they have gotten better. They have gotten a lot better, but I feel like it's still not up to 2024 where it should be in 2024. It still feels like it's back in the 2000s, maybe the middle 2000s, something like that. But it is not a 2024 standard. And especially the fact that they don't have a social media presence. It should be a lot more robust, especially when, they're talking about their projects. The only place you find it is on their website. Well, if that's the case, there needs to be something. They need to be talking it up more. People need to be doing more interviews. If they're not going to have the presence on social media, then something needs to happen in terms of getting them out there in front of the public, getting what they're doing more in front of the public. So to fill up the space so that the tabloids don't come in and dictate in the vacuum that happens when nobody is talking about anything. So I just feel like, honestly, if I heard that Ashley was no longer, I would have been happy. Of course, we know the British press would jump in it, which they have, even with this. The fact that she's not representing them as just Ashley, now that she started her own company, which is a fantastic thing. And as a woman, having her own company and representing them through her company is fantastic news. Absolutely fantastic news. And it's incredible. It's solely up Meghan's, because that's her thing, supporting women, especially women entrepreneurs like this. It's fantastic, and it's fantastic for Ashley. I've just not been a fan of her PR. I don't feel like it's up to where it needs to be, especially when you're as high, you are at the standard of Harry and Meghan. You have these high profile people. There needs to be more. And push back on stuff needs to be faster because, again, we don't live back in the early 2000s. The length of time that it takes, by the time you respond, nobody cares. And what sticks is the negative. And so they need to get better at that. And to know that she has this whole team. And I'm like, well, what are they doing? What have they been doing? If you look at the nonsense that is going on in the UK and the narrative in the UK, I'm like, well, what is their UK team doing? Because it doesn't seem to be much. And so that's why I've been feeling like, come on, people. So again, they're going to stay with her. But honestly, if I were them personally, I'd clear out this entire team and start with a brand new team. People who know how to market. If you're not going to be on social media, who know how to get your stuff out there in front of the public so they know what you're doing. They know that, oh, okay, this nonsense in the press is just tabloid stuff. But when there is nothing, people tend to believe the nonsense. They tend to believe the negative. And they wait so long in between to respond that is like, come on, people, get on it. And so that's for me is why I am, if I was me personally, I would have cleared out this whole team. It's like, okay, I love y'all, but we're moving in a different direction. Don't care what anybody say. This is what we're doing. So that's me. Meghan and Harry are very devoted. They don't have my personality. They are very devoted and very loyal people. So they stick to the people that they are with. So, and they stick for a long time. So that's fine as well. I'm just saying this is what I would do. But they are grown folks. They're 40 something. They know better what they need than I. So a little bit more on this story. This is what Ashley said. She says, "I'm incredibly grateful to the Duke and Duchess for their continued trust in me. Their unwavering support and belief in my new firm has been meaningful and is a testament to their leadership. I knew when they first hired me that they were giving me the opportunity of a lifetime, and I couldn't be happier to continue working together," Hansen said in a statement. And so this is what Meghan said on behalf of her and Harry. She said, "We are so proud of Ashley, especially as a female entrepreneur. We look forward to having her focused expertise on our business and creative projects and her continued oversight of our communication team. My husband and I are excited to be alongside Ashley as she builds something extraordinarily special with her firm," the Duchess of Sussex said in a statement on behalf of the couple. So there you go. They are still working together, just Ashley doing it through her firm, and their in-house staff stay as is. So really nothing has really changed other than Ashley is just going to be representing them through her firm. So there you go. So that is what is happening there. And so a little bit more, of course, the tabloid press have been screaming, where's Meghan? Where's Meghan? What are they doing? They're splitting, they're separating, and it's just like, people, is there anybody on that island with common sense? Is there any common sense available to just, people here, take some common sense, please. And so if you've come across this ridiculous narrative and it's just like, oh my gosh, this represents about 99% of couples inside Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's new dynamic. A twin-track approach is evolving, friends say, exclusive. I mean, and of course, People is a tabloid, but Harry and Meghan do have a relationship with People. Again, I will never understand this, but again, these are two 40-something-year-old people who know what they need better than me. But anyway, so they have a relationship with People, so who am I to say? So this is a little bit of the article about the dynamic that's been going on with Harry and Meghan as they move forward. It says, since stepping back from royal life in 2020, Harry, 40, has maintained his commitment to various patronages, many of which continued virtually during the pandemic. Now he's back to in-person engagements, reaffirming his role as patron to around 10 charitable organizations, including Sentebale, the Invictus Games, and Wellchild, making solo appearances across the US, UK, and Africa in a flurry of activities. Meghan, on the other hand, is pouring energy into entrepreneurial goals, including the forthcoming launch of her American Riviera lifestyle brand and Netflix show. Though their paths may seem divergent, philanthropy for Harry and business for Meghan, their shared initiatives like the Archewell Foundation show they remain united in their efforts. Meghan, 43, remains invested in causes such as mental health and children's welfare, while Harry balances his non-for-profit efforts with production projects like his polo documentary for Netflix. This is like every other couple. Very rarely, there are few people that worked, as a couple work together, which I never ever suggest to anybody. Don't work with your best friends or your spouse because business tend to destroy relationships. And so I'm very, very specific about, who I do not work on stuff. I would, help my friends, but I do not partner with my friends on things. So because I know how this stuff could damage relationships. So 99% of relationships, married relationships around the world, husband have their own thing and wife have their own thing. And then they may come together for a certain thing. But this is normal. But for some reason with Harry and Meghan, it's front page news every day. I would never understand the nonsense of this. I'm like, are you serious? So then I guess Kate Middleton and Prince William have split up then. And I guess Charles and Camilla have split up. Since they all have their own particular thing and they go off on their own and do their own different engagements, all of a sudden with Harry and Meghan, it's like, oh my gosh, they're splitting up. Oh my, and it's just like, oh Lord. I'm like, come on, people. This is stupid. It makes you look stupid. And I guarantee you, the people who write these articles most likely are married because, most likely the UK, most likely they are married or have a partner in some way. And both of them, I guarantee you, neither of them work together on all of their projects, whatever it is. Husband goes off and is a teacher. Wife goes off and she's a reporter or some nonsense like that. But yet they sit here and it's just like Harry and Meghan are supposed to be tied at the hip somehow and never ever go off in their own direction and do their own thing. It is just the most nonsensical thing I've ever seen. And just like, come on, people. Common sense, please. Common sense. So anyways, but again, anyone with a brain could look at what Harry and Meghan are doing and see that, yes, they both have their own thing. And that is fine. That is healthy. It's called healthy. They don't always have to be together. That's what healthy relationships are. Everybody have they have their thing. They're doing their own thing in their own space and then come back together. It's called healthy relationships. So it's just like, anyway. Unbelievable. What else is happening? So that is the big news of the, again, this is not a change. It's just people evolve. But definitely the Archewell stuff with Ashley Hansen is a little bit of a change. Although not really, because again, she's not going anywhere. It's just that she has a company. And so congratulations. I am very, very happy that she has her new company. And she said that it came about because other people have basically loved what she has done with the Sussexes and were asking her for advice. The kind of advice that she's been giving the Sussexes. So again, not everybody feels about Ashley's work as I do. Some people love it and they wanted to have what the Sussexes have. And they were coming to her. She's like, well, why don't I just start a company? And so she's going to be representing people in the, in the entertainment industry, but also sports and I think business as well. So yeah, it's very, very cool. Congratulations to her. Anytime a woman starts her own company, it's like, yes. So good for her. So anyways, moving on from this, this picture popped up and I was just like, oh my goodness, what is it? this came from. And apparently, this gentleman, Richie Chaplin, this was them in when they were in Jamaica. I think it was in February, right? When they were there for One Love, Bob Marley's film, or at least the film about Bob Marley. So this is when they were there. They were visiting the museum, and so yeah, the Bob Marley Museum there. And so, and one of our squaddies recognized this dress apparently when they were after they did I think it was last year when they were in New York and they did the mental health workshop. And then some photos came out of them in some little island somewhere that I never heard of, where a bunch of rich people go on vacation. I don't remember the name of the island. But there's a photo of Harry and Meghan. It was just their back walking. And one squatty recognized the dress as the same dress. And so I was like, oh, only a squatty will come up with this. So I was just like, yeah. So, but anyway, so this was them when they were in Jamaica for the film premiere. So don't know how long they stayed there, but hey, look like they're having a good time with Mr. Richie Chaplin. So there you go. And I want to think that he was in the movie as well. He says, "Them can't trick me. Me daddy a Rastafarian royalty in a real life. I'm a movie star." So it goes on to say, "Me have one task: surpass the bar. So you set so high. Shalom salam." So don't know who he was. Maybe he's part of the Marley family. I don't know. So, but we remember that wonderful trip. And of course, the British press were crazy about that too, as they are with everything else. So, what else is happening? Fave! Oh, Duchess of Success. Her book came out today. So, you can get her book on Amazon or wherever you buy your books. It's there. It's called Royal Codes. I'm so happy for Anne. So I purchased my book already. I'm just about, I purchased it today. So I'll be reading it later. I'm going to put the book that I'm reading aside and read this first. It says, A Guide to Gracefully Breaking All the Rules and Finding Your Worth. So lessons she learned from Duchess Meghan. And so that is in her book. So she said it's a quick read. I think it's like maybe 200 and something pages of this book. So, but so excited. I'm like, our own Anne has her book and it's on Amazon. So cannot wait to read it. So definitely. And I'll also put the link in our community page. If you're an X, just jump onto her site and you will find it there. And thank you, Church Nelly, for putting her a link to her podcast as well. So if you haven't heard her podcast, definitely jump over there. She is awesome. She is so awesome. So very, very proud of our Anne and her book. So if you haven't gotten it, definitely go get it. So I'm just going to stay in the chat for a bit. I think that's all I got. Yeah, that's all I got. So I'm going to stay in the chat for a bit and see what you guys are saying before we end. Let's see. Lana says, just because you give people advice doesn't mean they're going to implement it at 100%. They may take 50% or adjust it to their comfort level. Very true. Absolutely true. I do that. So, so absolutely true. So thank you, Lorna, for that. Very true. Let's see. Lex says, she's talking to Church Nelly, says, apparently none of these is true for their working royals. People asking about Kate's 6-month disappearance is bullying. Meghan not seen for a week and a half is a divorce app. Of course. And you're right. It is bullying. They're doing it to bully her because why? Last week, they all were running the lying story about bullying. And all of a sudden, Meghan is, again, the girl is working. Whether it's because she just doesn't want to deal with that and just rather work in private and stuff like that, that's fine. But it's like their where is Meghan stuff is they just want stuff to put in their tabloids. They want to continue to bully her. And that is and then make money off of bullying her. And it's so sickening when you see women are the one doing it, because the one who wrote that article about Where's Meghan is a woman. And in the UK, it's like, it's so sickening to watch. And again, what is so infuriating, because Meghan's whole life is about supporting women and building women up, and to see UK women be so nasty and jealous and pathetic is just so disgusting. It is so disgusting. Sometimes some of them are even worse than the men. It is just unbelievable. Let's see. Black Queen is like, oh boy, the white vans are underway, sirens are blazing to Shutter Isle to collect the psycho demon, straight jackets and duct tape abound. They are psychotic. They seriously are. They really are psychotic people. Let's see. Karen Werner says people are gullible and would believe what they want to. It is not the Sussex's responsibility to tell people how to think. They just need to continue doing their work and living their life. The chips fall. Very true. Very true. But unfortunately, when you do the kind of work that they do, and they want others to know what they do, they put it out there so that people know what they do. So, one, so they know what these organizations are doing, and also they can also support the organization. You do have to work within a space of, this is 2024, and understand, like, there are people out there that are literally targeting your character. They're targeting your reputation. They're targeting the reputation of your company. You're targeting the reputation of your projects. They're targeting your reputation of your foundation, all of those things. And unfortunately, we live in a time where people actually listen to that and they pay attention to it. And unfortunately, they are more apt to believe the negative stuff. So when there is nothing, when there is a vacuum there, and it's only filled by the negative lies, and it just sits there and nobody says anything, unfortunately, people are apt to believe that. And next thing you know, people don't want to deal with you because they assume the lies are true, especially when it comes to your reputation and the reputation of your foundation. And so that's the space they're in. Unfortunately, I would love nothing better for them to have nothing to do with social media, nothing to do, which they don't, or any of those things where they can actually work in peace. And unfortunately, they don't have that kind of luxury. They don't have that kind of luxury. And especially, they're also putting out documentaries. They're also putting out films. They're working on films and all of that stuff. All of it, their reputation and their name says something, whether people are going to come to watch it or they're going to click on and sit there for an hour or two to watch your series on Netflix. So it all matters, unfortunately. So yeah, people are going to continue doing what they're doing, but within the space that they work and the things that they want to achieve, then their marketing and their press and their representative, it has to come up to that standard, and they have to understand that they're not in a space where they have the luxury of just staying silent when people are attacking the reputation of their company and the reputation of their project and even their own reputations. They have to speak up, so yeah. And again, they can do how they want. They're 40 something, but this is unfortunately the world we live in. So yeah, there was a time when you can have a narrative and the mainstream press basically, paint this narrative of you that you want them to have, where you go out and you do all the, the photos, and you have your pop walk and all of that stuff, and that be enough. That's not enough in these times. Now you need to speak up. Now you need to, if you want to maintain any kind of control over things, you have to smash false narratives there. I mean, I know Nacho's thing is like, look, I don't care. Any kind of bad publicity, good publicity is all publicity. Unfortunately, there are certain things, for example, this narrative of Meghan being a bully, that is the thing that, even though it's false, because it has not been, even, she has said it's false, but it has not been strenuously denied. And it has not been like, look, I am coming after you and I'm going to sue or whatever. That unless that is dealt with, it's going to keep coming back and coming back and coming back. And they're going to keep using it and using it and using it. And that's the reason the royal family have not put out that the results of that whatever investigation, quote unquote investigation they did. Because I mean, I could tell the reason why, if it was something that could really damage Meghan that was in that report, they would have put it out already. But because they have not put it out, there is that possibility that it's negative towards her, and that's what they're using. Because their thing is, we will not clear your name. That, I believe that report clears her name, and they wouldn't put it out because they refuse to clear her name. And so they can use that for eternity. Every time she does something, they pull out the "you're a bully," because they know how that narrative could, especially for a woman of color, that narrative can destroy someone's career. They can destroy someone's reputation. So unless you come out and deal with it and not be cryptic, deal with it and deal with it in a powerful way, that will stay there. So it'll be interesting to see how she moves forward. I know there was the denial and stuff like that, but even, where they put that, the staff speaking out for her, even where they put it, that is also important. Because one of the narrative was, why would they choose Us magazine? That's so low on the totem pole. If you're going to go up against the Hollywood Reporter that has this reputation that's up there that they don't deserve because they're not there anymore, but people still consider them up there being Hollywood's Bible. And if you're going to go and challenge their article, then why not put it in a magazine or outlet that equals that? Why use something like Us magazine that is a tabloid? And yes, it got a lot of play, it got a lot of hits and all of that stuff, but all of those things matter. And so it'll be interesting to see where they go forward. But I think this is the area for me where I think needs improvement, and me going into 2025, and especially that RO is coming out. That the British press are going to be there. This is the targeting of RO right now. They're planting these seeds right now so that when that comes out, so many people would have such negative view of it that they wouldn't want it. So this is the seed that the British press and the royals are planting right now. And so that has to be dealt with harshly and really strong. And you can't be cryptic. You call names, you call people out by their names and get it out there, because it's not going to go away. You can't push this under a rug and hopefully people would stop. No, they're going to keep bringing it up until she deals with it. So it'll be interesting to see. And it's sad because it's kind of like, the people who make these false accusations, they get to hide behind royal sources or palace source and put your name out there and damage your reputation. And there is no consequences for them when they lie. And that needs to change. So, yeah, it's a very, very unfortunate situation. Let's see. What else you guys are saying? Oh, wait, what's wrong with Elaine? Sorry to hear that, Elaine. Prayers, do you feel better? Oh, Elaine is not feeling well. Oh, my goodness. Sending you lots of love, Elaine. Definitely feel better soon. Oh, my goodness. It's the season. So many people are not feeling well, or things are going on. There's a lot going on in the world. So definitely we need to pray for each other. So, yeah. Let's see what else. Church Nelly, this is, yes, exactly. When Meghan is with Harry, she's controlling and attention seeking. When she's not with Harry, their marriage is in trouble. Harry is seeking a way back to the royal family. I know, right? It's just they can't win no matter what. They cannot win. So it's just like, good grief, people. Get a life. And this is why I'm so happy that the Sussexes are here. So they don't have to, they could tune out the royal reporters with stuff like this nonsense. They could tune that out. But then there are certain things that they have to deal with. They just, yeah, when it comes to stuff that will definitely destroy their reputations, they have to deal with stuff like that. So yeah. Let's see. Lorna says the problem is the UK courts cannot force the royal family to release that bullying report. No, they can't, and that's why they hold it. They know they can just hold because it's in that. Well, we don't know what's in there, so she could be. So it's in that space where it's a possibility that it's negative towards her, and they will use that and keep that over her head, and that's what they're doing, and they will continue doing it until Meghan exposes all of them. They're going to keep doing it. But Meghan is not like me at all. I am petty. I will expose all of them. I didn't care. I'd burn that mess down. So it's like, yeah. Let's see. Let's see. Chody says, he says, Peddle, the royal family would never support Meghan. It's gone too deep. They have the media protection racket on their side, eulogizing praise for the royals at best. Very true. I don't know if you guys heard the whole Anna Pasternak interview with Meredith Constant that I mentioned in the last episode. I hope you have. And did I put it in our community page? I think I did. Wait, maybe did I? I don't remember. I have to go check. But if you haven't, definitely watch it. Anna Pasternak was a royal reporter. She was very much not into Meghan and Harry at all. She didn't like Meghan. I don't know. I don't even know if she still does. She doesn't have to. People don't have to like her, but just be fair in your reporting. But she has completely broken away from all of that royal reporting and just telling the truth about what is going on and about the contract that they have. And again, if you're a squatty, this is not the first time you're going to hear this, but she did confirm that, yes, there is a contract between the palace, and that part of that contract is reporters in the UK cannot say anything positive about the Sussexes, and they can't say anything negative about Kate and William especially. And if they do, on the odd chance they do, you notice how fast those articles come down. They all of a sudden, the articles there, and then they disappear because they got, called from the palace or something. And so she confirmed all of it. And so, yeah, it just, are they going to change it? No. And her thing is like, the reporters know they're lying. They know what Harry and Meghan are saying is true, and they just sit there and pretend it isn't. Why? Because it's access journalism, quote unquote journalism. Because as Anna says, yes, they depend on the access to the royals to pay their bills. That is an absolute fact. She doesn't depend on that to pay her bills, so she is absolutely free to speak the truth. And so that's where they are. It's just unbelievable. So Karen says, Peddle, exactly what you said is the engagement they're looking for. I don't agree for them to engage. Then it would become the beginning of all the situation again. We're good. We stop paying bills. We're good. We stop paying bills. I'm not sure what the end means, but hey, that's the other side of the argument as well. That's another side of the argument as well. It's like if you respond, then you start this whole thing again, because as you saw when Meghan responded with her staff, then Tom, what is his name, from the Daily Beast, put out this whole other nasty article slinging more mud at Meghan, and it becomes this thing. And so, yeah, that is also, unfortunately, another part of it as well. So, yeah. How do you handle this? So, yeah. So, again, differing opinions. Totally understood. And totally appreciate it too. So, yeah. But anyway, I think that's it, guys. Yeah, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys hanging out. I maybe just to give you guys an in, the next couple of days I may not be on here. I would try, but I may not be on here again until next week. please pray for my family. My dad is in decline. And so, yeah, as I mentioned, he's older. And so he's been in the hospital and he is, I think, coming to the end. And so just pray for my family that, for strength. And so I'm going to be traveling in the next day or so. So I may not be back on here until next week. I have a couple of videos I was working on that I'm editing. So I'll most likely be posting them. And so I will not be in the chat, unfortunately. So yeah. But anyways, thank you guys so much for just praying for me and asking about my dad. But, this is life, unfortunately. So, yeah. But anyway, so thank you guys. Have a great weekend. And I will chat with you next week. All right. So, bye, everyone. Yeah.